Wow, second episode already, and we haven't been canceled. Pay up, Kenley.
Well, looks like I'm at $20.
We got some more hard-hitting coverage for you today, viewers. I'm sure you've all heard about Mass Effect 2 by this point, and most of you have already beaten it. Even so, we've got the timely review right here.
And I've got an update from the gaming world on a squabble between a moderator and one of the many, many loudmouths of Modern Warfare 2. Just like Brandon here.
It's hard to review a sequel without making comparisons to the original, and also hard to decide whether the differences represent innovation or stagnation. Well, maybe I've been spoiled by things like well-made movies and novels, but Mass Effect's story doesn't quite strike me as a particularly original jaunt. Captain Shepard must assemble a team of space warriors to do battle with a threat to all life that only he can vanquish. Which plot am I talking about? Hard to say. The insectoid collectors seem like a discarded prototype for the Reapers in the original game. They're both generic mystery races that few people even regard as extant, bent on annihilating everything that moves. So the overarching plot is a yawn. That shouldn't matter since the real meat of an RPG narrative lies in side quests. Unfortunately, the loyalty missions that you must complete for each of your teammates boil down to the same exercise every time. Blast your way through hapless enemies till you find/kill/hug the character hiding at the end. There's still a significant improvement over the assembly line quest that clogged my journal 2 years ago. I mean, how many times can I stop the same rogue general's mad designs to colonize the moon? Speaking of improvements, I especially like the inclusion of a secretary whose sole purpose in life is to inform you, verbally, whether you have any new mail or not. It's comforting to know that in the future we'll no longer be slaves to our mail clients, madly refreshing until the number changes. A real person will let you know. Whatever happened to the inventory? I know, it has flaws in its first time out, what with its utter inability to organize its contents in any form comprehensible by the human mind, and obstinate refusal to facilitate my attempts to equip the best trousers available to my space beat sticks. But that's no reason to slip a knife in the ribs. Many call for reform, and BioWare listened by chucking it out the window altogether. I searched in vain for the keyboard command to summon it, only to realize, slowly, that it had ceased to be. I'm sure they, like Bethesda did for Oblivion, were trying to streamline things a bit. Well, now I can't equip things unless I'm on my freaking ship. Very futuristic. Very frustrating. In fact, when you strip out equipping items and inventory management, there's not much RPG left in here at all. It's a good thing that the bits where you emulate space dogs are as fun as it is, or I'd have been better off just buying a dating sim if all I want to do is talk to people. Combat is satisfying, and the plethora of biotic powers at your disposal aid to break up those tedious shootouts that typify subpar Gears of War clones. Hiding behind that chest-high wall? How about a sentry bot, which spawns helpfully 2 feet behind you to annoy you to death? Yes, please! Force throwing them out of cover also works, about as well as you'd expect. Okay, can't talk about Mass Effect without mentioning the conversations. Nothing much has changed this time around. You still have a radial dialogue wheel, and the odd shadow flickering issues that made interacting with NPCs such an eyesore have thankfully been resolved. Your Paragon and Renegade levels still unlock extra options, and now on-screen prompts appear at key moments that, if accepted, will significantly alter the course of the conversation. Unfortunately, it just creates an illusion of choice. How often could you really resist activating them when given the option to? Nonetheless, this is the space opera fans the original were looking for, and newcomers were intrigued by. If you like Mass Effect, then I can't imagine what would hold you back from continuing your adventure in its sequel. If you hadn't heard of the franchise until now, it's still a satisfying experience that's well worth your time.
Xbox Live has always been known to offer sanctuary for the socially inept. More often than not, you'll find yourself in a game of Halo being teabagged by some guy called XXX Assassin Poner 245 just because you killed him with a sniper rifle 5 times before. Or you're in a game of Modern Warfare 2 having your sexuality being questioned by a 10-year-old because you knifed him in the back. Yeah, Xbox Live seems to attract the scum of the earth. But the good news is that there is a force created by Microsoft to combat these individuals. The Legion of the Moderator, or mods, are employees for Microsoft who play games on Xbox Live while keeping an eye open for cheaters and violators of the terms of service. These gallant white knights are the scalpel by which Microsoft carves out the cancerous tumor of immature Xbox Live users. But what happens when one of these saintly knights is accused of being ban-happy and an overall jerk to players? Well, that is exactly what Xbox Live moderator The Pro stands accused of. A player by the name of iTzLuPo claims that The Pro banned him and his friends after playing 1 game with them in Modern Warfare 2. According to the gamer, The Pro was being demeaning and abusing his power upon Lupo and his friends. When Lupo questioned him, he was apparently banned for no reason. The crux of the matter is that Lupo has the footage to prove it. However, it's not all what it seems. According to Xbox Live Chief of Police Steven Toulouseau, the video that iTzLuPo has posted on YouTube has in fact been carefully edited to omit all the verbal antagonizing and name-calling that Lupo and his friends committed. Later evidence has surfaced in the form of another video, which clearly proves that the gamers were violating the terms of service and verbally attacking the pro. While Toulouse promises that he'll have a word with the pro about his tone, the moderator himself isn't really at fault. iTzLuPo did in fact break the terms of service, and then his friend verbally attacked the pro. Which just goes to show you that the slime bags of Xbox Live clearly know no limits. To go so far as to edit a video in an attempt to put the blame on a moderator is a new level of scum. So for all you gamers out there who bend the rules a bit, just remember that it could cost you your entire Xbox. To see the actual footage and more details, check out www.kotaku.com and search The Pro. Play nice now, everyone. Oh, Xbox Live. You truly get what you paid for.
Amen. Well, that's the end of this episode. Thank you all for watching and keeping the ratings up.
Join us for the next episode of Level Up. Hopefully by then, Brandon will have gotten that outrageous mop of his under control.
Spring break was just not long enough.